Hi, let's create a polymetric sequence using SQ sequencer. I'm going to delete all of these. I'm going to use meld as my sound source. Simple sine wave. I want a plucky type of sound. I will already group this sequencer and I will add two more. Mute all but the first and set its length to 4 steps. Cool. I will set a scale and key here and copy that to all 3 sequencers. I'll add a delay already because I like tweaking these things. Getting inspired while I'm tweaking, not just, Some reverb. Yeah, now we're in the right mindset. Right, so I will unlink this sequence right here from this sequence. Set it to 5 steps and hit this dice. All right, it has a... If you play it a few times, you kind of get into it. It has some type of anchor point. It's not too insane already, which is good because we have 2 more here. But before we move there, I will add this condition. Sure. Move on to the second one. So if our first was 4 steps, let's make this one 3 steps. Mute all but the first. Select a different pitch. Sure, very simple, but I like it. I will add some condition here too, so that it doesn't repeat as statically as it does. Beautiful. Let's see if this third one actually fits. Sometimes it goes overboard. So I have one 3-step, one 4-step, and one 5-step. Whoop. Like so. Select a different pitch already. No, over here. We know that we want this condition activated and lovely. Let's see what this sounds like in mono. I'll leave it at poly for now. So the next thing would be to play with this velocity parameter. On the 4-step sequence, I will set it to 5 steps, just like its pitch. On the 3 steps, it can stay on 4 steps, why not? And on the 5-step, it can also stay on 4 steps. So now we have some data that triggers this modulation source. So now we can start pulling things here like this one. pan. Maybe the amp decay. So to get some glitch going on into this sequence, we can try this loop here between the attack and the decay, having the velocity, of course, affect this length, and it could yield some interesting results. It could sound like shit too, but we will have a listen. In small amounts, it sounds quite good. And of course, we're not going for a track that only will play this sequence, so we will add kind of like an anchor point in terms of some simple drums. You know, I like if you have something that is generative or semi-generative like this one, you need to couple that or to bounce it off something very static to really get the full effect of it, because otherwise, you know, everything will just sound ungrounded. So we'll get to that soon. First, I just want to adjust this length parameter, but for that we will use an LFO, setting it to random. And mapping all three of those. I think this is good for now, perhaps. Sure. That's this parameter here, this one. Cool. Let's put some very simple chords in there. I'm just going to use the we're in C sharp. So I'm going to make a fifth here, and then I'm going to make a fourth. I'm going to use this, whatever degree this is, whatever it's called. Somebody who knows theory better will tell me, I'm sure. To kind of bounce off to the next fifth, which from which I will do the same thing as I did here. So you have this C sharp that is sustaining, and then you have this one sustaining and this one sustaining as well. So you have this it's very cohesive, which is one of the things that, you know, if we have this going complex, it's very good to balance that up with something stupidly simple. Kind of harmonizes the whole deal, right? That sounds amazing. Let's add some drums. And now, so I started out with this sequence. if I would have chosen to do the drums afterwards, I would probably have used the whatever I used to describe whatever this was, you know, the simplicity of this. I would have applied that philosophy to the drums. But now I tricked my brain into feeling we're already in a pretty harmonious place with these two, you know, and it's already balanced up, which then gives me the opportunity to create some, you know, more less static drums, more IDM type of wild drums, right? Instead of just doing a 4 to the floor kind of more static thing, I'm going for something. Whoa, whoa. Something else. We'll see. We will just... All right, so the so-called anchor point within the drums will be these two hits that are the only two kick drums that I want to hit every time. And I want them to have full velocity, but the rest should have different velocities because I'm going to assign that to some things here, I think. So let's hit random a few times here. That looks good. Turn everything else down and then max out that one and max out that one. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not? Let's add a hi-hat. 14 steps. I want the velocity to talk to this decay, so we're going to do that with an expression control. I really like these drums. Did not anticipate it, but I would end up there at all. That's what's cool with these sequencers. It just takes you somewhere. unexpected many times. Let's see some simple multiband processing on this. But it could be cool if we, like, you know, if you settle on some, what do you call that? It's not called settle. It's called if you commit to some drums. So, for example, you like that. That sounded a bit chaotic because both of them were playing. That was not supposed to be like that. But if we listen now only to what we recorded. Whoa. Why is it like that? Because of this. That was what was the thing all the time. This one was on. What I wanted to show was actually that you can have these little turnarounds at the end of 4 bars or 8 bars or 16. That sounded awful. You know, stuff like that. You can do the same with our sequence. Right. Take off the sequencer and just This is just for demonstration purposes. Of course, if you're seriously arranging, you might want to record much longer. You might want to have a look at, you know, where something repeats, and when it actually repeats, this is your cue to add, you know, the next phase of the track, add another element or change something. But we can talk about that in another video. For now, I just wanted to let's move those out of the way. Let's make them black to not, or some other color to not get confused. So we have these 3 now with MIDI clips, and what I wanted to do with this was to load one of these here, and then we can automate . You see, to get these an easy way to create more interest. get the point, I hope. So let's just pluck, is that a good word? No, plucked sequence. Drums. And then the last thing we can do is to just add a bass to this, taking the MIDI from our chords. That's wrong. From our chords, and this is a monophonic instrument, so we don't need to worry about setting it to mono. It will be a bit too high pitched though, so I already know to pitch it down before we start playing, and turn this down to not get any shocks. I like that, but there are more things to do. Not that one. We can try this, for example. I'm not, you know, this sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think now we have a pretty busy thing going on as it is, so I like these sustained bass notes. Right, well, I think that this sums up pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. The project is in the description, and I will see you in the next video. Happy 2025.